Nisambula Binaka, beloved people of Fiji, we welcome you for those tuning in online from within Fiji and those from abroad. A very special welcome to people living with disabilities, women, children, people with special needs, and those vulnerable groups. Thank you for taking interest in our government affairs, and we are happy to announce that the Honorable Minister responsible for disaster management will be delivering his press conference addressing Fiji this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, without taking further ado, I now welcome the Honorable Minister.
Members of the media, fellow Fijians watching this press conference online, a very good afternoon to you all. This afternoon I am joined by the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry for Rural and Maritime Development and Disaster Management and the Acting Director of the National Disaster Risk Management Office to provide an update on the current situation on the ground. With a heavy rain experience in the central and parts of Western Division, the Fiji Meteorological Services have advised that this is due to a trough of low pressure system that lies slow moving over the Fiji group. It is expected to gradually ease from the west from later today and clear the group by later on Thursday. A heavy rain warning remains in force for the Northern Division, and a heavy rain alert remains in force for the Central and Eastern Division and the Asawa group. The National Emergency Operations Center has been closely monitoring the situation with the respective divisional emergency operations centers and have been responding to needs as and when required. The Central Division EOC has been activated and is liaising with stakeholders to respond to needs of the public as they arise. And so far, the following reports have been received. One household with 10 family members from the Lia settlement Serua was evacuated to the LDS church yesterday. The evacuation center was activated as a precautionary measure, and evacuees have now returned to their homes safely. Please note that we are on standby to do the same if the need arises as a result of heavy rain and possible flooding to ensure families are safe. The Fiji Police Force are on standby should there be a need to evacuate members of the public from flood-prone areas, and you may call 917. I repeat that number again. You may call 917 if you require assistance in evacuation. A flash flood warning remains in force for all low-lying flash flood-prone areas and small streams of Singatoka area. A high-intensity rainfall has been recorded in the area of the past hour, which coincided with high tide causing flash flooding. A flash flood has been reported in parts of Singatoka Town, Lawanga Road, and other low-lying areas in Singatoka. Our teams in the Western Division are working closely with the Singatoka Town Council and the Fiji Police to control movement in the town. In view of this, ladies and gentlemen, we are urging communities to please adhere to the following. Please refrain from unnecessary travel or movement during this period of heavy rain. The risks associated with flooding and the severe weather conditions are significant, and it is crucial not to jeopardize lives by going outside at this time. We ask parents, we plead with you, kindly ensure the safety of children and family members by keeping them indoors. And also, please, do not cross flooded streams, rivers, or bridges. I also urge community leaders to collaborate with the government in ensuring that people remain indoors and avoid unnecessary movement. Traditional leaders, Turanikoros, Matanitikinas, advisory councillors, and all community gatekeepers must carry out their duties and ensure that their community members follow advisories and warnings. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Disaster Risk Management Office and the RMO has been issuing advisories for the public to take necessary precautions, and I urge the general public to please take heed. With this heavy rain warning in place, we are anticipating disruptions to traffic flows and possible road closures. We continue to urge motorists to exercise extreme caution and please avoid crossing flooded roads. Please stay tuned for our road closure updates on Fiji Roads Authority Facebook page or visit the FRA emergency dashboard link, which is available on their Facebook page. Or you can also call 5720 and plan your travels accordingly. So if you're traveling somewhere and you wish to plan your travel, call 5720. As we are aware, flooding leads to increased leptospirosis, typhoid, dengue, and diarrhea cases. Therefore, during this period, we encourage the public to continue practicing good hygiene to avoid getting sick. We are also urging households to stock up on essentials in order to prepare for the heavy rains and floods. Please ensure that you provide for enough food, water supply, emergency power sources, communications, first aid kits, and required medications to last your family for several days. Services might be disrupted in event of flooding, and it is critical that your families are self-sufficient until services are restored. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, we urge the public to cooperate with us in ensuring that your households are safe and well prepared for today and tomorrow. Please take responsibility for the well-being of your family members and extend your care to your neighbors, particularly those in vulnerable groups within your communities, to make sure they are aware of the warnings and have the necessary resources to stay safe. Stay safe, Fiji. Nawalevu, Dhanyavad, and thank you very much. Naka.
Evacuation centers, since yesterday you've been receiving reports of flooding in Central Division particularly. Any update as to how many evacuation centers are currently active?
There's none active at the moment. The last one, as I was just mentioned, was in Dalia. That has recently been closed as the family members have moved back to their homes. And their homes have also been cleaned up. What do you call that thing? Disinfected. Yes, they've been disinfected, and they've been allowed to move back to their homes.
But we anticipate any evacuation centers to be activated looking at the weather?
Yeah, we're looking at the weather. We're ready. We're really anticipating whatever's going to come. We're going to be reacting to that and responding to whatever comes. And that's why the EOCs and the national EOC is also standing by to make sure that we are ready to activate them if the need comes. And we're very thankful to the Ministry of Education that they've made also all their schools available for us as well to activate those the schools as evacuation centers if it's needed. So we're thankful for the Ministry of Education as well.
So with the last bad weather incident we had in the West, it took quite a while for NDRMO to activate evacuation centers. Will that be changed at this time with quick activation?
No, it really didn't take any more time than usual. I believe that as soon as it was needed, it was activated. It didn't take any more time. I think that was something that some people thought happened, but it really didn't. In Nandi, St. Andrews, that was activated very quickly. But what happens is we work with our partner agencies in getting sure that they are supported when they are needed. But it's only the rations that because of the act that mandates how we supply them, the rations are given after 48 hours. When after the evacuation centers are activated. So that's probably where the difference in interpretation is involved. Some people thought that maybe the rations needed to be given immediately, but no. The evacuation centers were activated as soon as they were needed, and they are all over Fiji, and they stand by ready to be activated when it's needed.
So I have a question. I think it was brought up in the previous press conference regarding when there's heavy rainfall, there's excessive flooding. Just for instance, I have visited Ngawia settlement. Currently, they are underwater. Is the NDMO and also your ministry working closely with the Ministry of Waterways, and how are you closely working with this, and how you are going to mitigate, because this issue has been ongoing since for years. We are talking about years. We are still facing the same issue. My question is, what's an update? What's going on within these communities? Are you liaising with the communities? How you are targeting these communities, and how you're responding to these issues?
Yeah, unfortunately for us, our ministry and this department especially, we are at the very end part of the whole process. Disaster happens here, we respond here. But we help with getting people to remember their responsibilities in getting prepared for these things, which is why disaster risk reduction is part of the preparations that we ask our government to mainstream into their policies and procedures. It's a struggle that has continued for quite a while, and it's something that we continue to work on in working with other government agencies. And working with waterways is something that we've done all this time, as well as waterways, FRA, and all the work that they need to do. We make sure that we coordinate our efforts to ensure that we highlight to them the places that need to be focused on. And yes, that's been highlighted several times with waterways, and I think it's probably for them. I can't speak for them, but I believe it's probably a budgetary issue that they probably have to work on. But I really can't talk for them.
For these low-lying communities, my question runs around supportive relief system to get across to where they live. Mostly right now they're stranded on the other side. What's the response on that? Are you going to have a mitigation, immediate actions towards and helping them getting across it?
Yeah, we're just waiting for the police are there. They are our representatives in those areas. So they provide the first response when that happens.
Do they have the resources for that?
Yeah, they'll have the resources, and if they need the resources, we'll also can help provide that.
So just a follow-up question to that. With places along the Queen's Highway that always floods, Bunaniu, Nambutiri, Nambukilevu, what is happening to deal with it? Is it come under FRA cleaning the drains? Who does it fall under? Yeah,
we just spoke with the FRA person on the ground today, and that's what they're working on around the Bunaniu area. That's something they're going to be working on in the immediate future. So you'll see some improvements very soon in those areas.
So can you expect no flooding in the next heavy rain event?
No flooding. Only God can answer that. But I suppose they probably can mitigate the effects of those events. But no, I can't promise no flooding.
So just one question. We've seen updates from Nusori that a few parts of the town is flooded. Has there been any updates on the increase in water levels of Rewa River?
Yes, we have flood early warning systems that are in place, so that keeps us abreast of the water levels. But as far as the floods in Nusori town, we believe it's more of a drainage issue. So that's something that Nusori Town Council will have to work on to improve.
So just a follow-up to that, how many early warning systems do we have around Fiji rivers?
At the moment, six in the Central Division, and we have a few in Ba, but we can give you the number later on. Yeah. And eventually we'll be moving out across to Honolulu as well. We were working on getting Serua also involved. Also included in that because of the recent floods that we had last year. Is that?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.